zoning board of adjustment meeting for Monday, September 17th, 2018. And our first order of business, as always, is the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll entertain a motion regarding the minutes of the July 16th, 2018 meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of, the date you just,
July
stated.
17th, 2018.
Yeah.
July 16th.
16th, excuse me.
I second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'm going to abstain because I wasn't there.
Okay, and Bob abstains. And by the way, we're gonna appoint Richie as a seated member for this evening's application. You're only alternate present, okay. All right, our regular business item is the application of Donald Eves III. This is a public hearing for an application for a special exception from section 32-234 of the Newmarket zoning ordinance that pertains to accessory apartments, and a variance from section 32-234B to allow an accessory apartment in an existing detached structure. The property is located at 21 Bald Hill Road, tax map R7, lot 19-7 in the R1 zone. Mr. Eves, why don't you step up to the microphone so the folks at home can hear you? We have read through your papers, but this is your opportunity. If there's anything you want to expand on or add, this is your opportunity to tell us why we should grant you the special exception and the variance.
No, the application was sufficient.
Okay? I'm going to ask you to sit tight for a moment, and at this point, I'm going to open the hearing for public input.
The neighbors, I'm looking.
If you can step up to the microphone so we get you on the record. And your name, please? And your
My name is Okyang LeBlanc. I live in 13 Bald Hill Road,
Okay,
right next to him. I have no object whatsoever.
okay. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Seeing no further member of the public present, I'm going to close the public hearing portion of the meeting and open the floor for questions.
I have a question. I have a question, procedural. Should we do the variance first, seeing as how if we don't grant the variance, the special exception is a moot point?
You have to do the variance first.
Or
Okay.
it's in the
It's just
opposite?
confirming that.
Yeah,
That's correct.
so we'll take up the variance first. And so people at home are clear, the variance is basically from the requirement that the accessory apartment be in a attached to the primary structure. Whereas the variance would be to have it in a detached structure from the current single-family dwelling on the property. Is that fair?
Mhm.
Except I'm confused.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Okay.
That's what Richie is here for.
3 or 4 pages down,
Yes, sir?
currently reads 32-234B. One accessory apartment shall be permitted per detached single-family residence.
That's
If-
correct.
Okay. All right, so that is a change from a year ago when they changed the,
No, it's always been, here in Newmarket, it's always been, has to be part of a single-family home. It can't be a separate detached unit.
You couldn't do it with a duplex, even though they were like condominiumized.
am
It's
I
gotta be
reading this
detached.
wrong then? I must,
It has to be
I thought it had to be attached.
It has to be attached. It says detail, that doesn't make sense.
Read the next sentence, Wayne. The accessory apartment shall be contained entirely within or attached to the detached single-family residence. So you may have more than one single-family residence on a lot, and each one can have an accessory apartment. That would,
Oh.
I think that would only be if you had a grandfather.
It would have to be.
It would be some kind of grandfather
You can't have
situation.
two.
Right,
So
you
that
can't
would
have
be
two
rare.
dwellings on a,
They're using the term detached to mean separate.
Separate.
right.
Individual.
Oh, okay.
That would be a rare circumstance, I think.
Yeah, I think
So,
we have-
so what this application is that it has to be attached according to our regulations, and they're looking to have it detached.
That is
Correct.
Okay, I thought,
Such as 8 Bay Road.
Right.
right,
Such as
okay, all right,
It's a-
okay,
it's a-
I got
45.
screwed up on that
That's a bad
reading.
example.
What is it,
Talking about
40,
8
52 Elm Street, the one right on top of the
Yes.
hill? The Mitchell,
Yeah, we had an application about that.
yes. But this is similar.
Very similar, that's right.
Any further questions or comments? Can someone explain to me what the hardship is? I mean, I just made a note.
If I could speak,
Yes, please.
I think if you want to hear the criteria, before you even decide to make a decision, all the members should go out to the site and review it. Because I don't think you can make a positive decision on this without seeing the site itself. I went out and checked the site. I looked at the off-site building where they want to put the accessory in. I sort of looked at the lay of the land, but it was raining, so I didn't go all over it. But other than that, I think before we can make the correct determination of the, what they're looking for, that we have to actually go out and view the property. That's my 2 cents worth.
I understand. Can you tell me why? I mean, I drove by it.
Why?
I'm just-
Because I can't see how he can meet the hardship in what he's written,
Okay. And I had the same question.
okay?
So the question is, do we want to continue the application and have a site visit? That's what you're proposing.
Well, you're the chairman, but I don't know if you want to have him read the criteria out to us now and then do it, or hold off on the criteria until after we do the site review.
Well, I guess I'd be inclined to do the site review before we do that. I think it'll make a lot more sense.
I
if we go
would
out.
think so myself.
If you think there's a benefit to going out and walking around the property, then we
Well,
should,
it definitely is.
sure. Like I said, I drove by it, but I haven't walked on it, so.
So I would make a motion that we continue the meeting to site specific.
And schedule a site visit,
Schedule a site visit. When do we want to do that?
the applicant needs to.
Mr. Eads?
Is there a certain aspect to the comment made there that you have questions about?
Well, we have Mr. Shelton and
You
I.
have a hard time to meet the hardship clause,
What about,
because you're just making it easier to put it into the barn than to add on to your house.
right,
And you gotta show us that you can't
There-
expand your house for 4,200 square feet, which is a pretty good sized house in town. I think that's the square footage of your house.
yeah,
And you
To
have
meet
to
the
put-
hardship criteria, we have to be satisfied.
That you meet the
You
hardship.
you have to satisfy us that there is some condition on the property that is unique and distinguishes your property from other properties in the area. And from what you've submitted in the papers, and I had the same difficulty, I made a little note in the margin saying what is the hardship. It doesn't jump off the page at us like it does in other applications that there, at least to me, and apparently to Mr. Shelton, that there is a hardship in terms of having to put the accessory apartment in the detached structure. So it's typically helpful for us to go out and at least drive by, and in this instance, probably walk around and take a look at your property to see what the conditions are.
Yeah, so conditionally, when help me understand what is the intent of this question then, on how I can perhaps answer any questions you may have from what you've seen from the street or what Mr. Shelton has. What do you consider a hardship in this instance is my question.
Well, it's hard to say, because each property is different, and there may be some condition on your property. I've seen from the photographs, there's some information here about where the septic is located and things like that. That's helpful, but it can be helpful to us to see, for example, are there very wet areas on your property where you may not be able to build because maybe it's swampy in some areas, and it's very hard to tell that just by looking at it. I'm just giving you examples. I'm not making a determination of those issues.
Could I speak
Because
to
the hardship criteria can be very difficult, and it's typically where we struggle. We've also generally had trouble with these accessory apartments, detached structures. It's an issue that we've struggled with many times in the past. So I'm sorry, Mr. Reeves, go ahead.
Well, so I guess one of the difficulties I might have to kind of expand on this would be if, say, I have a downstairs in the basement, it's a real big open space that could potentially be expanded into an apartment. The difficulty becomes installation of a bathroom and septic and other such down there, because then you have to put in a pumping station and such to get it around up to where the existing sewer is. That and alongside the house, in order to put a new structure beside the house that extends it out, I've got large boulders and such that are just make it unruly to be able to do that.
Yeah, so it may be that, I mean, it's certainly our intention by having a site visit, not to make your life more difficult, but to make sure that we have the fullest picture that we can of your application to give you the best chance of having it granted. I'm personally confused by, I see septic and drain field. What is the sewer drain line? What's the difference between the septic and the sewer? Because as far as I know, there's no sewer. I'm not sure what that's referring to.
Yeah, so sewer, you have to forgive me, it's a septic system, and I came from a city where we had a sewer that
Right.
ran out to the city.
Sure, yeah.
So was this provided in your packet at all, these drawings?
Yes.
Yes, I saw that one. I've got it
Okay.
right here.
You saw the general layout, and so here would be the house, and here's the proposed accessory apartment, and here's the drain field or the leach field, that you might call it that already exists on the home. There's already a tie-in that exists there that was there when I bought the house for that all tie into the septic system.
From the proposed apartment, from the barn. You've got a
Yes.
sewer line from the barn already.
Yes.
Is there more than one septic field on the property?
No, just one.
But there's two lines,
There's two.
Chris.
They all feed into the same
That's what
one.
it's,
There's one that
he's
goes from the main
labeled
house
two
and one that
lines.
goes from the barn. So there's two lines that feed the same field.
Yeah, the line from the house to this.
There's a line from the house and there's a line from and the other lines are indicating
Where
those lines
are.
are.
Yeah.
There's too many lines there.
It's confusing.
I have to apologize.
I'm still confused.
Adobe doesn't offer you much in the line of,
It does not.
Lines.
I'm confused by the lines that are pointing out the lines.
So this is a sewer drain line from the main residence to this leach field, and then this is the line from the barn to the leach field.
Oh,
So you got a
this
strip.
is the leach field.
yes.
Yeah, back of every-
So the rest of it is,
so
I was
So,
very confused.
leach
That's the leach field.
field, and this is a line.
Those are the lines that
And then
point
this
out
is
where the
mine.
leach
His
field
leach
is.
field, I guess is what they call it. He calls
Yeah.
it drain field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
And then this is the septic and drain field line that shows where the leach field is.
gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Where is the well located on that property?
It is located
It
off.
doesn't show in the site layout.
It doesn't. It's actually located right, if I can draw your attention, it's right about
If you
here.
can step up here, I'm sorry, I just don't see very well.
I'll put it next on the map.
I'm saying it's
To the right corner.
Can you, why don't you take the one that's in the file and put the X showing the well location on that so we have it right in the record?
Okay. Oh, about here.
So it's on the other side of the driveway from the leach field.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gonna pass that around.
If you look here, I think
That's
that's
the
the,
well.
I think that's the pitless adapter right there.
Where is it?
So it's right over here.
Yeah.
It also might be noted that
Yeah.
there
Yeah, just-
already is water run to the proposed accessory apartment as well.
Yes, sir.
I think that's,
Right. You think that's
I think it's,
the wellhead?
I think the wellhead's right here.
Pass that down to James.
So I assume the septic is adequate for the house and the garage, right, at this point?
Yeah.
When does Mike look into
The
that?
detached garage.
I think,
As part of the building construction.
Okay.
I guess we're still considering the question of whether we want to have a site walk, whether we want to go out there. I would propose to do this pretty quick
Mm-hmm.
and come back pretty quick. What's the feeling of the board on that?
The question I had is why he couldn't expand to the, what is it, the west side? The Newfield side of things? I think it's Newfields.
I can't tell where's north?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure
Up
out.
here.
Where's north?
North would be over here.
North is kind of directionally, that is north. The top of the page would be north.
Okay.
So
That's
you
north.
wanna know why you don't go out on the west side? Was
Yeah.
that, I'm sorry, Mr. Robert?
Yes, I'm just looking, there seems to be room over there on the west side.
Right next to the septic or right next to the septic, is that what you're asking?
No, the other side.
Oh, on
On
the
the
east
well
side?
side.
The well side?
I don't know if that's west, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
South?
South, I guess, southeast
South.
somewhat.
Yeah, right there on
Southwest.
that side of the building, I have larger boulders that make it to where I couldn't expand that out very easily. That, and I wouldn't be able to maintain sufficient flow using and keep within code for drainage of additions of to bathroom and plumbing. It's a 1:8 ratio. Or actually, is it 1:12? Either way, both of them.
Oh,
You
yeah.
wouldn't be able to maintain that.
because of the topography.
Yes.
Yeah. The topography doesn't show up. So we're back on the question of, do we want to, within a week, say, go out there and take a look and then come back?
I would think so. Whenever you want to
If we
schedule
go
it.
out there say on Saturday and come back next Monday,
Well, I'm not gonna be here next Saturday. I've got commitments, I'm gonna be out of town.
Right.
But that don't stop on my account. If it works, I can be here on Monday night too to listen to the,
we can take pictures.
Could.
But-
I mean, I've got pictures of the house on my phone. Is that anything that I can provide to you, or?
I think I'm reluctant to do that. We can come back in a week. I mean, we'll be back here next Monday.
I have a meeting at 6:30 that's scheduled, so I can't change.
You don't need to
You
be
can
here.
have Mike come.
Mhm.
Get Mike come.
Okay, I just wanted to do that.
Well, that's what I'm inclined to do at this point.
Now, and I've got another question.
Yes, sir?
Will he have to provide us with the capacity of his septic system for an off-site building?
It's already connected to sewer. He's already connected to the septic system, but
Yeah.
we probably have a
Rick-
file.
Richie is asking whether we would require assurance that the septic system can handle the addition.
I understand that, but
For
we
for
do
an
have, we
accessory.
probably have a septic system plan.
Well,
on
it
file.
depends on how
If you-
big,
If you were gonna
This-
approve it, you probably wanna make it conditional upon, Mike's approval of the septic plan or whatever.
it
is.
depends on how big that was designed for.
Or the state would.
Well, the house
The
is large,
mistake has
you
to
know,
size it
It
based
must
on
be
the
a
number
pretty
of
good size
bedrooms.
one.
We'd have to pull out
Yeah.
The state
the
would
state
have to,
approval.
Yeah.
DES would have to.
See, I wasn't sure, but, 'cause
Yeah.
this is something we're looking at that's not common,
Right.
and,
You'd have to do that even if he built on an addition as well.
Yeah.
Right, one way or the other, he would have to,
Yeah.
the septic would have to be
Sh-
approved by DES.
Or adequate in its
well,
present,
adequate to handle the flow.
adequate in its
Yeah.
present state. It could be, I don't know.
Because you don't know, it's probably the original one, I would think. It was built
I don't know, we'd have to look.
a number of years ago.
But that would fall in DES jurisdiction anyway.
Yeah.
You could make it, if you're gonna approve it, you'd make it conditional, obviously, on DES approval of the septic. It would be, they would have to approve it regardless of whether it's conditional by us.
It depends on what it was designed for, the number of bedrooms.
Right.
So without looking at the
Yeah,
approval, we
well,
can't really
I think
answer
it's
that.
designed for 3 bedrooms and a kitchen,
You think so?
I would guess.
Well, you don't know.
You
Well,
don't
that
know
was the
unless
size
you
of
look
the
at the
building.
plan.
Well,
Unless
maybe, I've seen him, I've
You
seen-
would know that better than me.
I have seen him 3 or 4 bedrooms and a accessory, so, I don't know. It's like Diane said, you'd have to see what,
Yeah.
she'd have to go into the file and look.
So can you accommodate us, Mr. Eves, say Saturday morning, 9 or 9:30? We wouldn't be there for very long. Does that work? Is that too early?
Well, I have children, so you're saying this Saturday in the morning?
Is that time acceptable, Richie? Is that too early for you?
I'll make it if you set the time.
9?
I'll just
Get it over with?
go to bed a little earlier.
Like I said, in the meantime, I mean, can I take any pictures and send them to the board?
You can add whatever you want to the application. I mean, we want you to be able to feel comfortable that you're putting your best information forward. We're not 100% comfortable with the information right now. The sidewalk is really for your benefit, to make sure that we have all the information we think we need to make the decision one way or the other. It's not
Okay.
intended to be, to drag you down.
Yeah.
And
I
we'll
just,
come back on Monday. We'll come back a week from tonight and carry on.
okay. Do I have to be, I have to be present for that too, I imagine?
Yes, please. We've had that happen before. You want to be, it's bad form to not be present when your application is
Yeah.
pending.
I agree.
We've had that happen before, haven't we?
Yes, we
Yeah,
have.
of course.
I guess the only question I have is what are we gonna look at on Saturday morning?
The topography.
Things that would make,
We're gonna look at if this is the only spot he can put that accessory apartment.
It's a
Well-
hardship, Wayne.
Yeah,
That's
hardship.
the struggle I'm having.
Well,
or what makes this lot unique, that this is the
Only spot.
best spot for it, the only spot.
So I guess I'll entertain a motion that we continue the meeting till Saturday morning at 9 o'clock to reconvene at 21 Bald Hill Road, and then continue the hearing after that point to Monday at 7 o'clock here, if the room is available, somewhere in Town Hall.
Okay. I'll have to check with the reception.
Subject to availability, but that's how we'll leave it for the time being.
I'll second that motion, if that's a motion you're making.
That's the motion I'm suggesting.
I'll second that.
Do we want to continue the meeting until Saturday morning?
I did.
No.
We need to continue this public
This-
hearing to a week.
Can't we
later.
do that on Saturday morning immediately following the sidewalk?
I'm worried about
You can.
notice.
Okay.
If you do it right at the sidewalk and you have a quorum, you have someone taking minutes, you can do that.
I want to have Sue be able to get notice out though.
Okay.
So
All
people need to know now that we're, because Saturday morning won't be
Okay,
time to get notice
okay.
out. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
All right.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, Mr. Eves. If you're patient with us, we'll hopefully get to a more complete decision.
All right, thank you.
Any new or old business to come before the, thank you very much for coming in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any new or old business to come before the board at this time?
And
Seeing none, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Thank you.